welcome to another episode of Isles of Murtagh. Whew. One thing I'm sorry I'm not playing Stardew Valley. It's not been warm lately, folks. It's not been warm lately. And apparently, cold weather isn't good for asthma. And mind you, I'm still recovering from COVID. I think I'm over COVID, but some of us, because cold weather usually doesn't do this to me. And by cold weather, I of course mean Florida cold. About that burp. Not going to apologize for that. Yeah. Fun times. How you doing? That's nice. That's very nice. Whoa. So, yeah. So I did promise ranting about Dad. Now, Dad came over this weekend to drop off Ghost's urn. And, we had to endure a meal with him. And for the... fudge. Got that wire caught a little. Sorry. And the meal was going fine. But then my dad wanted to have this, for some reason, conversation about... I think the original conversation was going to be something like, oh, the Aztecs were cannibal savages that weren't Christians. But hang on a second. I decided to be a little a-hole to, push his buttons, but not push them too far. And so he was using the term Indians, and I am Steve for the moment. Can't wait till everything catches up, so that's no longer the case. Okay, let's see what to do. Oh yeah. Okay, making more planks. Okay. Do this. Off. And so, my dad was using the outdated term Indians for Native Americans. And I just kept casually correcting him to, oh, you mean Native Americans? Because Indians are from India. Which made Dad just look angry, but not, angry as in scary, but more as angry as, a toddler is angry. They can look angry, but it's more amusing. And so then, as he tried to carry on, I was like, let's see, what's the next thing I did? Yeah. At some point, I told him, so he was like, the Aztecs had the wrong beliefs. And so I was like, just in your opinion. Yeah, my dad's a hardcore Christian, but not a Christian like he actually believes what he's saying, more like the Christian that uses their quote unquote faith as a way to be better than everyone else. So, yeah, it's like the wrong beliefs. I'm like, well, in your opinion. And then what really seemed to set him off was when I said, well, the European colonizers used biological warfare. It's like, no, they didn't. I'm like, yeah, they did. They had disease. They were immune to diseases that the Native Americans had never encountered. Yeah. I'm like, I was trying to explain to him that, biological warfare doesn't have to mean the highest tech, and it was only created. That form of warfare was only started like this century or last century. It's, yeah. I mean, I don't know if the Europeans used biological warfare on purpose with Aztecs, but But I mean, they did have diseases, and the fact that the Native Americans weren't used to all their germs, yeah, did help the conquistadors and other colonizers. Sort of like, it helped them out. Yeah. It was, for some reason, that seemed to piss him off the most. That was what made him the most angry. It can't have been biological warfare. It's not, like, for some reason. Maybe it's just that my poking and prying beforehand. Oh, hi! I'm sorry. I'll just let you live. I can't get any meat off you. Well, when he talked about the Aztecs being cannibals, like, this is a lovely, I guess, PSA for everyone. But when the European colonizers came to, take over the Americas, one common myth that was perpetrated was like, oh, these savages are cannibals, woo! So, if anyone brings up any Native American tribe being cannibals, you need to have at least 2 or 3 sources on that, at least. So, honestly, not too. I'm not up on my Aztec history, but I'm also wary to believe any Native Americans were cannibals, actually. And I was definitely not about to believe Dad on anything he said. Because according to Dad, there's only one true religion and only one true way to practice that religion. So, yeah. Dad was definitely not a good source. Oh, hey! I'm not going to kill you this time, I promise. Okay, you don't really have anything I need. Good. Is the cow there before? Well, there's a cow now, I guess. Let's go to bed. That's the sort of person to think every Muslim's a terrorist. Like, oh shoot, wrong one. Sorry. I mentioned I mainly do Stardew Valley nowadays, so the controls for that and Minecraft are just different. So when Dad goes about Native American facts, yeah, I'm not exactly inclined to believe him, especially if he's like, oh, they have the wrong beliefs. Yeah. And what kind of beliefs, Dad, would you say are saying your daughter's going to hell? And just laughing about that. Ooh, how about Grandma's funeral? You, quote unquote, joked about her going to hell. Is that the wrong beliefs? Because I'm a little confused. But yeah, sort of. Usually what I do when Dad talks is I go to my happyish place, and, you know, only respond by looking at him and go, because Dad, when he talks to you, doesn't actually want a conversation. He doesn't care about your opinions at all. All he wants is someone to pay attention to him. But at the same time, he doesn't really care about what you're actually interested in. He thinks you should be, I don't know. I mean, I've gone over this over and over in my head for years, trying to understand a narcissist, which, you know, I probably shouldn't waste my time on. But I think it's like he wants you to be interested in him, but at the same time, he doesn't care what you're really interested in. And I think it's because he thinks you should be extremely interested in whatever he says, because he's the center of the universe. I think there's now this thing going around called main character syndrome, in which case, yeah, Dad definitely thinks he's the main character. Myself, I sometimes think I'm the main character, but I know I'm a side character. Actually, I'm probably a character the author just totally forgot about. Like, oh, didn't know that character was still alive. Oh. So yeah. Nothing really interesting with that outside that, which was good. But yeah, usually with him, I don't respond because he doesn't actually. He likes you making the motions that you're paying attention, but he doesn't really care. You know, just doesn't want that. Oh, there's a wolf about. Yep, there be a wolf in these parts. Okay, let's look around for this wolf. So yeah, when I actually talk back to Dad, it's... Yeah, I've reached my limit. I am not in a normal state. figure out the wolf problem later, I guess. It just feels post-COVID and post everything that happened in December, I've just been feeling more antsy, more easily annoyed. It's you know, not a good feeling, like, at all. Let's sort these. Let's see, on a more happier side of things, I saw that the original Old Boy was on Netflix. Now I've only seen the remake, and I know some purists will be like, "Oh my God, it's nothing like the real film." Blah blah blah. And I'm going to go with I agree with you. I mean, I never expect the American remakes to be as good as the original. But I will say, before I get into the talking about Old Boy, that the I think the I still am always going to enjoy the remake, and that's purely because of the cast. You know, Josh Brolin. I can't remember her name for Elizabeth Olsen. No, so it's a really good cast. They had a good cast for the remake. Let's see what time it is. Okay, so cutting out time. But yeah, the remake has a really good cast. So that's. So I'll always enjoy watching the remake. I'll always have fond memories of the remake. But yeah, the remake, oh my gosh, is really, really toned down. And I'm going to talk about the ending. Censored version of the ending. Because the ending of the remake is I'm just going to call him the dude for. I can't. I'm horrible with names. I can't remember the remake, and I just remember the character's name in the original. It starts with a D and maybe E, and then the last name is O. So, yeah, I'm just going to call him the dude. I'm horrible with names. I'm not racist, I am horrible with names. Except if it's a pet's name, then you ever, meet me in, real life, and then you get insulted? I don't remember your name, but I remember your pet's name. That's just how I am. But anyways, I am horrible with names. And so I'm just calling him the dude. So the dude in the original, finds out that found out the reason he was in prison for 15 years was the villain wanted his daughter to grow up, so that he manipulate the dude into sleeping with his own daughter, who he didn't know was his own daughter. And the villain did all of this because the dude found out the villain's father was sleeping with the daughter, and it turned out to also be like a family thing. The father was doing both his son and daughter. Yep. It's that kind of movie. And with that reveal, the dude feels so totally broken. He allows himself to again be imprisoned, but this time because he realizes how horrible of a person he is, even if he did that on accident. He just feels he's irredeemable. So his daughters gets to live without knowing that she, did her own father. So yeah, but in the remake, oh my gosh. Same basic reveal, except in the original, there was a bunch of hypnotizing involved. Both the dude and his daughter were hypnotized and manipulated into, eventually doing the nasty with each other. And the dude finding out is he reacts a lot, more emotional than the remakes. And in the original, it's only the villain and his sister that are doing the nasty, and not, the whole family affair. And then, the dude even cuts out his own tongue, and the villain goes away, sort of smiling, but then he thinks of the dude. Not the dude. The villain's in the elevator. The villain, while he's in the elevator, thinks about when his sister committed suicide. And then after all this, after the dude's realized how much of a POS he is, he decides to get his memory erased. And before you go, oh, that's hard, but I don't see why you were making a big deal about the ending. Oh no, hold on to your britches, folks. Because he gets his memory erased so he can keep doing the nasty with his daughter without feeling guilty. Ugh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a daughter. It's like, yeah, the American remake had the dude realizing the errors of his way and tormenting himself until he dies. While the original is like, no, he's still not going to learn his lesson. He's going to say a POS. Yeah, that was. If you can stomach it, I mean, Old Boy is. Oh, good watch, but it just really is like. Yeah. Like American Remix, like, oh, the protagonist must learn his lesson and become a better person by the end of the movie. Original Korean is like, no, the protagonist doesn't. And on a semi-related tangent, on Twitter, I think a day or two ago, someone was like, "Oh, all protagonists can't be static, or that's boring." But it's like you get the right story, and static characters can be good, can fit the narrative. I mean, original Old Boy, that the dude was a static character. He remained a horrible person throughout. Yeah, sometimes people not learning their lessons makes for a compelling story. And yeah, if you're under 18 and you're like, maybe I'll check out Old Boy, no, 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 no. It's not one of the. I mean, it's a movie you honestly definitely need to discuss with your parents before watching. It's I mean, besides the whole ending reveal, there's a bunch of violence. The dude ends up torturing someone for information. It's so yeah. But if you're over 18 and you've been wondering where to catch Old Boy, it's finally on Netflix. I've watched the remake I think 2 or 3 times because it was on Tubi, I believe. And there was nowhere free for me to watch it, so yeah. The original. Last night I finally finished up The Glory, which is a Korean drama about this one girl who had been tortured and bullied in school, tortured basically. Hang on, there's got a little bit of cramps going on. Okay. And so, let's see. Yeah, so she's dedicated her whole life into getting revenge on her bullies. And the main bully, I think it was Seon Yi. I know the last name is Park. And she really wants the main bully to get the really, really short end of the stick. It's really enjoyable seeing the whole plan come into fruition. And it's a very slow paced, but very, very much worth it. Just getting to know all the characters, getting to see the villains get their comeuppance. I think one of my favorite parts was... Oh, shit. Can't believe how fast that one fell. I think one of my favorite parts had to be where Moon was... Dion was, like, making a big deal of getting the name tags to use as evidence to bring down Sion. And she even gets Sion's mother to confess. But then it turns out, he's like, actually, this name tag couldn't be used as evidence because of such and such a reason. And I only did this to mess with you. I wanted you to see your own mother abandoning you. Because Sion's mother made Sion's own mother abandon her for money. I just want to mess with you. I was like, dang! It can be used as evidence. I just want to mess with you. It's like, yes! It's... Yeah. A good show. Mind you, though, it does deal with some heavy topics, especially on the subject of abuse. So, check out the content warnings for that, but it is really good. Nice slow burn. I don't believe there's going to be a season 3, but they did leave it at a point where it could be. There could be. There's room open. Now, the current movie I am watching is Leave the World Behind on Netflix. And it's Don't really know much about the movie, but it's building up a good mystery. It's enjoyable. Basically, there's this family is vacationing, and they nearly get run over by an oil tanker ship thingamajig. And that night, like, these two people enter the house, the older gentleman claiming to be the father and the younger one claiming to be the daughter, and that it's actually their house. Like, there seemed to also be cyber attacks, so the family can't really easily get information. It's like, is the truth being told? Are they being lied to? For what purpose? Okay, it's 12:12. I should think about heading back. I'll continue watching the movie probably tomorrow. Tonight I'm going to be doing more Stardew. Do you have any construction materials there, Yo? No, it does not look like it. I'm going to change the food shortly, Danny. Jeeves. Let's see how far it's actually come here. Slow and steady. Let's unpark all the doggos. Next episode's going to start off with me getting a bunch of mushrooms. Let's see if I can go to bed quick enough. I don't know if you can hear Danny squawking. She's the main voice. As you should be, Queen. let's just make sure all the doggos were unparkoed. Okay. Let's make sure. Ta-da! Everything's fine. Let's find a good symbol. I think when I, make my whole trip to the Nether and return, I might work on the farm. When I bring the whole main part of the Nexus, I will. Yeah. I'll start working on other areas. I'm bringing other, villagers in. Because once the farm's there, populated and such. Although that's not going to be easy. So, let's end the stream here on a really high note. I'll play Stardew later, Jeebus. I love you. And to everyone who watched this stream, thank you so much. You and viewers like you are what keep me streaming day after day, night after night. And if you would like to know how to contact me outside of Twitch and or help support me, links in the About section. Check them out. I just finished writing chapter 2 of Kafka's Men 7. So, whew, yeah, the month of December basically just stopped me doing a lot of things. And I thought that I was like at least at chapter 3, so yeah, I was like, I'm gonna release it early 2024. Dream dashed. But yeah, so should keep an eye on, catching up on the series, because one day I will have the 7th book out. Woo! And let's get to the part you're probably all wondering about. I mean, I get distracted by Twitter notifications because no one loves me. And look on the hashtag Twitch streamers and find a channel to raid. Let's see, I don't know if this person is currently streaming, because it's more like, hey, please give me a follow. Let's see. Does not look like it, so next up. Not English. Not English. I mainly speak, except for a few phrases here and there, English. So I just, when I send you to channel, I want to make sure that you can understand both me and the channel I'm rating. Let's see about this one. Okay, I can't read their channel. Will repost their thing on Twitter, though. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this one. Please? Okay, I can. So this... Why is it not showing it raid? Okay, I didn't actually press the start raid for some reason. Jeebus. So this person is once red. That's R-E-D, not R-E-A-D. And they're doing Honkai, and I can't remember the game they're doing, sorry. So if that interests you, you know, check them out. Maybe you'll find a new favorite streamer, I don't know. I just do my thing and hope for the best. And if you're experiencing cold weather, I hope you pull through it, especially if you have something like asthma, which does not help the situation at all. And I will see you when I see you. And, you know, until then, goodbye.